Hello and welcome to the show. Imagine if that was my face. I do like to play with my face a lot when I'm on camera because I can see myself sometimes. And nothing's changed since I was about, 1 year old. A nice shiny mirror will do me for hours. All right. So, I'm excited for today's show, honestly. We have... Something has caught my eye. So a few things have caught my eye. And of course, if all else fails, we'll go to Twitter, where we get the greatest news from around the world. Normally also some death, nudity, all the things that we enjoy here. Hey, Gabrielle, and you're first, Miss Blue Hearts. Welcome to the show. Oh, I just realized I forgot my headphones. Hold on. I'm doing well today. All over the place. Oh, yeah. Doodle, hello. Welcome. How are you? Hoovy? I like it. I'm starting to feel more and more like a teacher every day. And you guys are just checking in with me. Hold on. You see this? This is not going to fit in there. And what's wrong with you now? Huh? Cat's got you something? Your tongue? What do they say? I've never said that before. All right. Giving the secrets of the show away here. We got this really nice speaker arm, right, that only is suitable for this microphone. And I'm worried now because I feel like in the future, if we ever change microphones, we can't use it. The big, giant boom arm. How are you guys going? Sorry, I gotta slow down. How are you guys going today? Cat got your tongue. Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. All right, hold on. I'm getting there. I'm so slow. All right, everything is set up now as well. So no more half this, half that. All the donations are all set up and ready to go. Okay, there it is. All right, I got it. And also, the channel's growing. I think we got nearly 10 subscribers from our last live, so that's good. Nice. Hello, Jamie. Welcome to the show. We haven't even started yet. Hey, and it's working properly today. I didn't moisturize my face, and it feels very dry. I'm wearing my Lil Peep jumper. The OGs know. Let me try and get Michael in here. All right. You're good at that. But it is very late for Michael, I believe. All right. So, wait until you hear Mrs. Staffy's. Mrs. Staffy's a real pain in her voice in a second. Hold on. Oh, I spoke too soon. I said everything was set up, and then there we go. Everyone hit that like button. Yes. Sorry, I need to be more. Okay, got it. What? What you want? Oh. Why are you so quiet today? What's happened? Huh? You're not speaking now. Goodness. This is a new mood. This has never happened before. All right. Okay. Yeah, I think it's about midnight for him, but I'll try. It's Juice Lee! Hello, Juice Lee. Welcome back. It feels like only yesterday. Now, I noticed that our good old friend Lindo is back up to his old tricks, okay? Well, and you know, the worst part with Lindo is I cannot even show you his profile. It's so disgusting. Okay, here we go. But look at what I have found. One of the old greats. I have missed these, honestly. Lindo, if you're watching, don't stop doing these because it is a joy and a pleasure. That color looks great on you. I think it's just because I haven't worn it before. Or maybe it's the blue neck, you know? Oh my God, I saw him talking about having 3 girls to choose from this morning. Mr. Cringe God, Lindo. Legend has it, if you say his name 3 times, you get an itchy privates. It was major ick. All right, ready? Okay, this is a new gold digger prank from Lindo. I don't know if I've seen this yet, actually. I just saw that it appeared, so this is not Lindo. The hair looks Lindo-esque. I already know this is his subject over here. All right, let's see. Marissa, welcome.
Sorry, I gotta go.
Wait, I missed it. This is important, okay? Hello, Marissa. The fart spray prank, when he sprayed that guy and said, test out my new fragrance, or sprayed that one girl's chest with fart spray. He took all that down. He took it away. Lindo-esque, yeah.
No thank you, sorry, I gotta go.
Okay, hold on. We're getting there. No, thank you, sorry. What's wrong with him?
Hey.
Hi.
How you doing?
Yes! Appears out of nowhere. Hey! How you doing? Yeah, come look at my multicolored car. Sorry, I gotta see that again because it's brilliant. No one could script or make this better. You already know.
Hey.
Hi.
How you doing?
Wow, I like your car. Is this yours?
Yeah, why else would
How
I
much
be
is
standing
it?
by it?
It's so nice. I like
Because
the
that's what you
design.
do.
Thank you. Would you like to take a spin?
Yeah, I would love to.
Can you imagine saying that to someone? Like it is Lindo. Like I know he would do that in real life as well. They come up to him and they're like, "Hey, nice car. Is that yours?" Yeah. Why else would I be standing next to it, you fucking moron? Like, come on, man. We're like, it's a little bit rude. All right. He's going to let her in. Of course he is. It's Lindo.
Yeah. It's a GTR.
Put something on the seat before you get in, or you might leave with something extra.
Yep.
I really love it. Oh my god, it's so nice and nice. Wow.
Okay, and the homeless guy's just going, yeah. All right.
What?
Homeless dude seems really
What's
nice,
your
by the way.
Claire.
Sorry,
What's
Claire.
wrong with you?
But I seen what you did to my boy right there.
What are you talking about?
You're a gold digger, so you can get
No,
out.
I'm not.
Yes, you are. Steve, you want to hop in?
Steve!
Come on,
Shout outs
Steve.
to Steve. Okay.
Forget those gold diggers.
No, okay, now, this one has got to be one of the greats of all time. Of all time. So the lesson here is, if you don't want to go out with a homeless man, I gotta say, this guy does seem like he's got his shit together. He's got a real nice suitcase. He's also about 30 years older than this girl. Okay. Good lesson. Good lesson. It's Lindo. Lindo's in the chat. Yes. What's up, ladies in the chat? Bubs, Lindo is here. I can't believe it. Yo, what's up? How's it going, buddy? How's Steve? This is an old prank, isn't it? Really some of your finest work here, though. I encourage you to continue on. Let's have a look at another one of your beautiful pranks. Taking strangers' cart pranks. Now, this is a more recent video. I can tell straight away because you look like 30 years older, and it's been like a year. You said his name too many times. I was starting to feel an itch. I made I made a bag off these pranks. Feel me? I bet you did. I bet you still do. I've been wanting to ask you for a while. I've noticed in a lot of your videos that when you wear shoes, are you buying shoes that are too big, or you don't tie them up? Why are your feet always coming out? I just wanted to... Important question. It feels like I'm doing an interview. Let's see. Tracy G. Hi, Staffy and Mrs. Staffy. Welcome.
Yo, what are you doing, man? Yo,
I need a cart, bro.
What are you doing, bro?
I need a cart, man.
Yo,
I
you
need
filming
a
me?
cart.
You
I
filming
need
me?
a cart, bro.
You filming me?
What you gotta do,
Go,
bro?
you filming me?
Yeah, we
Huh?
filming. What's
You
up,
filming me?
bro? I need
Yo, get out. Nah, you ain't get my cart. You ain't get
Yeah. Get out. Get out. I love this man. Where did they find this guy? Does he not have a car? Why are we walking the streets of PSL this morning? I got 2 different size feet. One's bigger than the other. Oh, really? Lindo, is that really you? It actually does look like your account. It can't be. That would be amazing. Well, that's a good reason, okay? And they don't allow you to buy different size shoes, do they? I remember I used to sell shoes a long time ago. And I every now and then I would get someone come in and ask me if they could buy different size shoes. And of course the answer was no. And also I noticed that sometimes just one shoe would go missing. And I always assumed that it was the people who had different size feet. Anyway, interesting.
Alright, man, back up. Hey, yo.
This is an amazing prank.
Yo, what are you doing, man?
Yo. He gets the bigger shoes on sale. Yeah, that is what they used to do as well.
Yo, you filming me? You filming me? You filming me? Go, you filming me?
Yo.
Huh? You filming me? Yo, get out. Nah, you ain't get my cart. You ain't get my cart, man. Back up. Hey, yo. What are you doing, man? Yo, I need a cart. What are you doing, bro? I need a
This
cart,
guy
man.
in the
Yo,
background,
you
I
filming
can't
me?
even tell if
Filming
he's...
me? You filming me? Go, you filming me?
Yeah, we
Huh?
filming. What's
You
up,
filming me?
bro?
Yo, get out. Nah, you ain't get my cart. You ain't get my cart, man. Back up. Hey, yo.
Oh, I really want... I should have got a haircut before this one. Well, now I know it's not you. Now I know it's not you.
What are you doing, man?
Oh, goodness me. Okay, all the other ones are just too filthy for me to watch. Linda, you got to calm down a little bit, you know? I think I see a re-upload. Wait, when did this get up? Oh, and it's got... Is it Lindo music? If it's Lindo... Yeah, this is an old one. Okay. Well, that's the Lindo updates for now. Brilliant. Keep it up, mate. Unless... Wait, you do have a second channel, right? On TikTok? Lindo Baby Love. Okay. And I know you've been using this channel a lot more. But there's no pranks on this one. Okay, this is just you. Okay, I see how you've separated it up. My mum had ALS before she passed, and because of the atrophy, one was smaller than the other. It was such a hassle trying to find a less expensive way to buy 2 different sizes of shoes she actually liked. Yeah, it is a pain. It is. I think a lot of people with different size feet end up buying really cheap shoes. You just reminded me of the woman who has what? Wait, hang on. The woman with the big shoe or whatever her name is. I found myself last night thinking. Wait, what? Thinking Czech wasn't so bad looking. Needless to say, I will be seeing a psychiatrist soon. Yeah, Gabrielle, that's wild. Well, Gabrielle, you know, the world is full of people of, you know, every single kind, and everyone's meant for someone. If you end up with Czech, I think that would be a beautiful love story, you know, brought together through Staffy KTV. I think, you know, we could even write something about that, put it out there. I think I know what woman you're talking about. Yeah, I know, but I worry because I might laugh and I don't know if it's something serious. You know, that is the kind of thing that I get concerned about. God, I've got an interesting mix on my homepage. I've got like I've got, of course, Twitch news because I'm always keeping up with Twitch news. Stream the wedding, exactly. Check is meant for Lindo. I think they're always good friends, right? Oh no, we did see that one video where Lindo was trolling Check, but I think they've been friends before, and it was probably fake. You know, I guess if they're going live together, they're close enough to talk. Intervention for both Gabrielle and Marissa next live. The woman who lives in a shoe. No. All right. Well, now I have to show you. The woman with the big shoe. I don't know if... No. Okay. We're getting into some weird feet stuff now. What is this? Hang on. Can you guys see properly? It's a weird scented video. Hold on. I don't know what this is. This could be absolutely anything because this is a short from like years ago.
What is it? We have something.
Okay.
Gas. Look,
A
big
woman-
shoe, big shoe!
No, this is definitely not the video. This man is freaked out about this woman's big shoe. I'm sure she has a good reason. Wait, I need to find out now. Oh my god, my search history is... It's very, very weird. I don't know if it'll be confiscated because there's no sense to it. None. Zero.
Just on the quick. That actually me do that look quick.
He's like showing this is two normal shoes here, and then this is two abnormal shoes. I could not, let me say, okay, as much as I love to have a laugh, I could never go up to someone in the street, especially like a woman who is asking for change, you know. Anyone asking for change, they're down on their luck, right? And then just laugh at them for what they're wearing. I might laugh later, you know. I might laugh behind their back, which I think is a nice thing to do. Don't you think, though? Like, this is pretty rough.
That bitch in the shoe, baseball,
It is kind of funny as well, so either way.
that big thing. That bitch me do that. Quick.
How you doing, Aaron?
Go bud here. Sorted. That big mad shoe.
Well, that is not the woman with the big shoe that I was looking for. Yeah, big shoe, eh? Yeah, no. Well, let me try and find it. The woman with the big shoe. Hold on. I think it's actually like a... It might be an article. Like a news thing. Hold on. I can't believe it is news. Let me switch. All right. This is a good way to start. The woman with the big shoe. Let me copy it over. I'm just worried that it's like something. I need to find that. Oh my god! And the pictures are just ridiculous. It's definitely not the one that I'm thinking of. It was just one shoe that was like enormous, but it was real. I know there's like a parody of it. I've seen someone do a whole skit on it, and I can't remember. It might have been like Chris Lilly or someone, this Australian comedian guy. Well, anyway, she's real, okay? It's not a fairy tale. All right, back to it then. Another thing that I really wanted to watch was, I don't know why, it keeps coming up. is the Chris Hansen documentary about how he's not really who everyone thinks he is. But I can't remember where I found that either. I almost got sued for download 2 episodes of Game of Thrones. What do you mean? I'm curious. I'm doing my own deep dive on Google right now. Have you found anything? I talked to a guy from My Feet Are Killing Me from TLC. Poor guy had custom shoes made for his feet. Is he a Bigfoot? Okay. Hold on. All right. Let's my feet are killing me. I really wish TLC wasn't so bad at taking... Oh, okay. I don't think I can... No, I can't. Look away. I can't do that. I'm sorry. No. No chance. I got a weird thing. Like, I can't handle even, like, my nails being cut. I'm like a dog when it goes to the vet. MGK, welcome. Mrs. Steffi's having a day off today. She's been good, so we'll let her today. Spicy. A little bit spicy. Yeah, but now I'm lost. What was that? Oh yeah, okay. Okay, let me find it. Where is it? Is it this one? Maybe it's this one. Yes, it is this one. Okay. I think this is it. This is from a YouTuber, I think. Wait, before I announce it, let me make sure it's the right one. I think it is, though. There's 2 parts to it, okay? So settle yourself in. Get your... Yeah, she is. She groomed me good. Get your popcorn ready, all right? Because this is going to be a long one. And I think it's worth watching because it's an interesting tale, honestly. Because I always thought Chris Hansen was doing a good job. But let's find out if he is really doing a good job. Because did you guys ever wonder why... Oh, fuck. Did you guys ever wonder why To Catch a Predator just kind of ended? Because I always did. I was always wondering why. I loved that show. It was super popular. Why did it all of a sudden go? Now, let me just make sure this is the right video.
Chris Hansen.
Yeah, this is it. All right, so this channel is called John Swan, okay? He only has 160k subs, which, honestly, he could do with more, I think, with the quality that I saw. I don't remember this at all, so I'm really excited to rewatch because that's the benefit of having the memory of a goldfish is you can watch things over and over again. Didn't it stop after that guy kissed himself? I'm not sure. See, I don't remember. No, because someone took their life. Okay. All right, let's see.
Commonly known online as the guy who baits criminals and puts them behind bars. He gained quite a bit of notoriety on television in the early 2000s for being a bastion of justice, fearless and daring. That is, until he was fired.
Chris Hansen was fired by NBC after 20 years. Extramarital affairs.
And sued. And arrested.
I'm not sure about that one, MGK. I don't know if he was ever called... I don't know if he was ever accused of being the thing that he hunted, but...
So his career in mainstream television had disappeared, and that's when he decided to take the plunge and start afresh, independently, on YouTube, the platform that gives everyone a voice.
Did you guys know that? Did you know that he just started his own YouTube channel and he was running it himself? Chris Def scammed YouTube. He claimed to be making new episodes of merch, etc. Just didn't supply any of it. Chris Hansen was in the Carterverse?
It all started off well for Chris, and he gained a significant audience from covering the Onision case, where he brought on victims and mentioned there was FBI involvement. These streams happened again and again and again and again. Every time we thought something would happen, it just ended up being another false promise. Chris Hansen isn't doing this for the right reasons. And in the next little while, we'll be going down the rabbit hole together. It's quite a ride, so brace yourselves.
Hey everyone, Chris Hanson here on Have a Seat with Chris Hanson. We're going to continue this evening on our investigation of Onision, a YouTube sensation named Onision, into the YouTube streamer Onision. We've been investigating Onision. We are intensifying our...
I don't know how he didn't get done for like harassment, honestly, because I think he made a ton of videos. Like, I'm not talking a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and like this. Don't forget to like the stream if you haven't already. Facts. Everyone is in the Carterverse.
Our investigation into Onision. We continue our investigation into Onision. We are deep into the investigation of Onision. You are now on the front lines in a battle against a predator called COVID-19.
I'm enjoying this. I gotta say, the music, the editing, it's really good. It's good. If only Roger had have seen this first, let's be honest. Maybe he wouldn't have been in that amazing, beautiful video.
Why don't you have a seat right over there, please?
Mark, please have a seat right here.
We all love him.
I'm
Take a
Chris
seat.
Hanson. No, you're not. Is I? No, you're not. Yes, I am.
And apparently TV audiences did too. Former television journalist Chris Hanson had one of the highest rated shows on Dateline NBC, and To Catch a Predator conducted 12 investigations between 2004 and 2007 with the help of online watchdog group Perverted Justice. Working in conjunction with law enforcement, the show saw many deviants brought to justice. However, like any TV show, To Catch a Predator was created for profit and good ratings. And over time, the journalistic integrity of the show dwindled to the point where some courts wouldn't convict anyone because TCAP and Perverted Justice were involved in the investigations. Despite this massive controversy, the show continued through many investigations, some successful, some not. And the 8-time Emmy Award winner...
I never saw an episode of this show where it wasn't successful. But I guess, like, I don't remember this guy, but most of them I do recognize. Let me just change the name of the stream for a second. Hold on. Oh my god, we accidentally went to the woman with the big shoe. Chris Hanson. All right, I will update it so that we're calling it Chris Hanson now. All right, it makes more sense. Told you when Juice and I talk to you, AC is connected in so many ways. You'll likely never hear the end of him. Well, I guess that's good for him. You know, he's leaving a legacy behind. He must be happy. Upstairs.
Chris Hanson was known across America and the world as the Predator Hunter. All seemed to be going up for Hanson and NBC, until the tragic case of Louis Conrad.
I want to know who came up with the idea as well, because it is a brilliant idea that I'm guessing it was happening before To Catch a Predator, and I would like to know, I would really, really like to know the history of like the first vigilante pedo hunter, you know? That would be cool. That would be a cool video, wouldn't it? There wouldn't be any monetization, but it would be cool.
56-year-old district attorney Louis Conrad was one of the individuals caught by Perverted Justice.
Oh.
Conrad posed as a 19-year-old university student engaging in online chats with a boy, Luke, who he thought to be 13 years of age.
This is the guy you were talking about, right? This is the guy who said, okay, all right. I think I remember now.
Conrad attempted to solicit images from the 13-year-old, and things escalated when Perverted Justice hired an actor to play Luke over the phone. After the first few conversations, Conrad ceased on returning calls, and he abandoned all online chats with the boy for unknown reasons. He never showed up to the Sting House. According to Perverted Justice members, content from Conrad's MySpace page began to disappear, leading them to believe that Conrad was covering up his tracks, and this played a part in the decision of the authorities to pursue a warrant for his arrest. Dateline NBC and Chris Hanson saw this opportunity to produce a piece of sensationalized TV and decided to show up to Conrad's house hours before any warrant was signed. But little did they know that this investigation would end in disaster.
The Murphy police obtained an arrest warrant for Conrad and did something we've not seen before. They contacted the local authorities in Conrad's town and knocked on his door. Conrad didn't answer, but police said there were signs he was still inside, so a tactical team was called in. The officers lined up in formation, then broke through the back
Wait, so Chris Hansen got to the house before the fucking police? How?
door. But before they could make the arrest, the assistant DA pulled out a gun and pointed it at his head.
As they made entry, they confronted the suspect. I believe he was in the hallway, and he told them he wasn't going to hurt them, and then shot himself in the head.
According to raw footage obtained by news publication Esquire, who did a fantastic piece on the TCAP investigation of Conrad, at least one Dateline cameraman had hidden himself near the Conrad residence door. In an interview with Esquire, Chris Hansen denied the crew members were on the private property. This was a lie. He also denied that Perverted Justice was present at the Conrad residence. This was a lie.
No.
Chris Hansen stated both in his blog and on air that Conrad's MySpace page began to disappear. The fact of the matter is that he never even remembered seeing it, and a later investigation by Esquire revealed that Conrad's page had not been touched for months before the sting. Another lie. Conrad's death increased criticism of the already controversial show significantly, with pieces in Rolling Stone and the previously mentioned Esquire, with many publications.
This is what I was always worried about, is like some kind of manufacture in the show, you know, because like when someone's bad, you want like, it's like you want them to be as bad as possible so that there's no bad feelings for you, you know, like you just want to go, they're bad, that's it. There's nothing good about them. I don't care what happens to them.
Calling it a mess from the point of journalism and that it created news rather than reporting it. The sister of Louis Conrad, Patricia Conrad, filed a $100 million lawsuit against NBC in July of 2007. And 9 months later, the judge allowed her infliction of emotional distress and civil rights claims to be heard by a jury.
The entertainment industry cannot act as police, judge, jury, executioner. And for a corporation like NBC, ratings and money matter.
Another judge found that she had a reasonable chance of proving that NBC had pressed police into engaging in unreasonable and unnecessary tactics solely for entertainment value, thus creating a substantial risk of harm.
That is crazy. If that got proven to be real, that the police engaged in tactics that were unnecessary and unwise solely to generate more dramatic footage for a television show, that is crazy, because then they like actually were the result of his death, possibly, you know? That is really crazy. I am enjoying this. And also, I see the hearts. Thank you. I see them.
He also found that NBC's actions amounted to conduct so outrageous and extreme that no civilized society should tolerate it. In June of 2008, the lawsuit was amicably resolved out of court. Shortly after this, To Catch a Predator was officially cancelled.
Right, so
Hanson believed the segments ended simply because they had run their course, and that they had proven their point. But the link between Conrad and the cancellation was too coincidental.
There is no way that is the reason, that it ran its course. There is no way. Like, I don't know about you guys, but for me, when the show finished, I was like, where's the episodes? I need more. Because there wasn't really enough.
To ignore.
The best side hustles.
Nancy Grace needs to be off the TV for essentially similar reasons. Is that the one that had... I think I know that story. And it is kind of similar. I do remember. Is there a shotgun involved?
While Chris Hanson's successful show was still running, He and his team captured predators by the use of hidden cameras and sting operations. So it is quite ironic that in June of 2011, Hanson was caught cheating on his wife of 20 years in an undercover sting operation arranged by the National Enquirer. For over 4 months.
Wait, who is the National Enquirer? Oh, it's a magazine. Okay, I didn't realize. It sounded like a state, like I organized something by the government. I was like, what do they have to do with Chris Hanson? Okay. All right, now I understand. So some random magazine hired a PI and took photos of him. A sketchy scandal mag. Okay.
Chris Hanson was reportedly having an affair with Florida television reporter Kristen Cadell, who was 22 years his junior. This was a big story in the tabloids back in 2000.
That is kind of ironic, isn't it? Like, she's not underage, but...
11. And following this, Kristen Cadell said she was told to move to smaller markets and start her career over because of the scandal, and was hard-pressed to find new work at any other station.
For the past 2 years, I was told that it would be in my best interest not to say anything. Let it blow over, just keep trying to truck along and keep trying to get jobs.
What do you guys think? Do you think that's fair? What do you think about her? Do you think that she obviously knew that she was having an affair with him? Like, she knew he was having an affair. I mean, I don't know her situation, but it doesn't sound like she was married. What do you reckon? You reckon that's deserved? 2 years of basically working at the bottom of the ladder again when she got to the very top for cheating with Chris Hanson. I don't know, it seems a little rough, but at the same time, you were doing something that is definitely frowned upon. Unless you're on Ashley and Madison, of course.
But we are here 2 years later, and I probably don't go a day without an employer tell me they don't want to hire me because of the situation involving Chris Hanson. I thought by not saying anything, and Chris advised me that it would be in my best interest not to say anything, that I would continue to go and my life would go back to normal. My life has been the exact opposite.
You can't blame Chris. You can't blame him for it because that's just stupid. You're definitely in control of your own self. You chose to do those things. But I guess it's different because it's a public, like she's a public figure in a way, like she's on the news and people are just going to be like, I think nowadays it would be the opposite because people back then might have been like, oh, that's that woman who watched Chris Hanson, blah, 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 who cheated with Chris Hanson. We don't want to have her because the viewers aren't going to want to watch that. Nowadays, I think that would be a reason to hire someone because we seem to gravitate towards the drama. So I would think nowadays that might be the opposite. I almost forgot about Ashley Madison and the user names being leaked to the public. Yeah, I know. That was an amazing hack. Beautiful. Something that I think is really clever to think of doing that.
Of that.
She said Hanson led her to believe his 20-year marriage to wife Mary Joan was on its last legs.
Also a victimless crime.
So he was free to date any other woman. At the time, this was hardly the reality.
Right, so he lied to her then. But that is possibly kind of hearsay, right? Because how can we know that that's true? Apart from the fact that Chris Hanson seems to lie about everything.
I have lived the double standard. A double standard is an understatement as to what happens in this industry. The women get fired and the men keep going.
Kristen Cadell also dropped some images of Chris Hanson's romantic relationship with her, and 2 weeks after those images were released, Hanson was dropped from the NBC network.
Well, there you go. There's no double standards then. He also lost his job.
With his contract not being renewed.
Chris has been a valued member
in this circumstance,
the team, and we thank him for his many contributions to Dateline and NBC News over the last 20 years. We wish him the very best.
A source told Radar Online that the reason Hanson's contract wasn't being renewed was simple.
His personal life was becoming an embarrassing distraction to NBC. As a journalist, when your personal life begins making the news, there are big problems. NBC thought Chris exercised very, very bad judgment by getting romantically involved with a local NBC affiliate reporter from Florida. It could have left the network open to big legal problems. Chris was becoming a punchline on late-night TV shows, so it was time for NBC to cut ties with Chris.
Since Chris Hanson...
I wonder if they regret it now, or if they think that was a really good decision we made, actually. I wonder.
Hanson was fired from NBC. His entertainment life went on standstill.
Because he kind of got a double, leak of fame. Do you know what I mean? Like, later on, the shows got even more traction, I think, than they did in the very beginning because of YouTube.
So much so that on April the 15th, 2015, he started a Kickstarter to fund a new set of predator-catching investigations.
What? There's something you need to know. I'm Chris Hanson, and you are going to help me catch predators again. Go ahead.
My God, so aggressive. You are going to help me.
Have a seat right over there. This will just take a few minutes.
We've come to Kickstarter to bring back the show you love with you, to create a second edition of Predator that we can offer online using the best team, technology, and methodology available.
The hype around the TCAP...
I love it. It's brilliant. The advertising is amazing. I mean, you know, who wouldn't donate?
...community was wild, and the campaign quickly took off, with it being directly promoted by Kickstarter. On top of a new set of investigations, the campaign promised rewards to backers.
Depending on your level of involvement, you'll be rewarded with a variety of unique perks. From a personalized voicemail message from me, to a Hanson vs. Predator t-shirt, to an exclusive screening and background briefing event hosted by me and my crew.
The estimated time for the...
Hey, wait, let me see those perks again. An official t-shirt, exclusive screening and private briefing, not bad. A personalized voicemail from Chris Hanson. I don't even know what that means. Wait, so he's going to call your phone, but you're not allowed to answer. Oh, wait. Is it something that you can put on your phone? That's a great idea. Like, who wouldn't want that? Someone calls your phone and you don't answer. Hello, take a seat. This is really random, but we have a local celeb in our area. She's one of the many women Tiger Woods cheated on his wife with. I used to live in her childhood home in high school. You lived in her house that she grew up in. That is kind of weird. That is a little bit weird. And she's one of the many women. Does she call herself a celebrity? Yeah, it is kind of sketchy. Everything that's ever been on Kickstarter is kind of...
And background briefing event hosted by me and my crew.
The estimated time for the delivery of these rewards was December of 2015.
Okay.
Just keep that in the back of your mind.
Ooh, $89,000 already donated by 1,200 people. Okay. Pledge $10 or more. Okay, $10 minimum to get your own digital e-card. So nothing, basically. $20 or more. Have a seat in your kitchen and enjoy your morning coffee with a Kickstarter exclusive coffee mug. All right, was there anything else?
Mind here. The Kickstarter was covered in several news outlets and even found its way to Jimmy Kimmel Live. The support behind Chris Hanson's movement was so great that the goal of $75,000 was reached in just 22 days.
Oh, damn. That is crazy. He did really well. I need a custom Staffy or Mrs. Staffy laugh track for my phone to cheer me up when you guys aren't around. It's going to happen one day, definitely. I think we'll get one of those playback things. We'll sell those for like however much they're going to cost, basically.
And the campaign ended up raising $89,000 overall. In mid-July,
we can do custom messages too.
2015, production started on this new set of investigations. Chris Hanson went completely dark until February of 2016, when he announced that the new investigation had been completed and that he was pitching the program to networks to find a new home for Hanson vs. Predators.
So all those gifts and everything are already 2 months overdue.
But you may be thinking, didn't we just pass the December 2015 date when rewards were supposed to be delivered? If you thought that, you would be correct. And in April 2016, Hanson's team came back with an update on rewards, saying that the investigation required the team to go dark, but now they were ready to give the supporters not only a great show, but the awesome rewards that were promised to them.
Wait, what does it actually say? Hello to our wonderful backers and fans. Thank you for being so patient as we are now finally getting to bring your rewards to you. Now that the investigation is in post-production, our team is working hard to make sure each one of you receives your rewards. We have not forgotten about you. December 15 was our initial estimate on when the rewards would be shipped. The investigation requires our team to go dark, but now we are ready to give you not only a show, but the awesome rewards that... What do you mean? The investigation required our team to go dark? What? It sounds like you didn't hire enough people. Like, just because you're doing one thing doesn't mean you don't do another. There's always time, right? Chris is recording his voicemails and videos, and our team is getting all the fulfillment information ready to go. It's a big job. Just bear with us and lock down all the details. All right.
Okay, well, a few months delay, no big deal, right? Things happen, and
For a
delays
mug.
with rewards are common with Kickstarters. In April of 2016, Hanson was named as the new host for Crime Watch Daily, and the investigation that the backers funded would be airing on national television very soon.
One day we'll have the cameo money. One day.
But rewards to backers were still not being delivered. People started to become frustrated, and word spread through the TCAP community, with many people calling Hanson...
Wait, what are they saying? I was so excited when finding out about this project, but the lack of transparency and unfulfilled promises has become ridiculous. I just want my picture or a refund. And then this person said, what Will said, but he is Will. His name is William. What Will said, I backed for an autographed book. This book has been out for 9 years. You can't just slide it over to Chris real quick and get that out for me. Why does it take 6 months to mail a damn autographed 8x10? I'm the type of person who I don't think I've had autographed things before, but I think I've always ended up throwing them away. A roux with a box of various custom Staffy sayings. Yeah, that would be good. Like a kangaroo-shaped playback button.
A con man and a scammer. The next month, the segment started to air on national TV and began...
Wait, I kind of want to read that really big.
Scammer.
Sorry. I've been back and forth a few times with the Kickstarter reps, and initially they provided me with a lovely email that asked that I wait. The projects can be delayed, etc. I waited and waited. I finally asked for a refund today. This is what I received in return for my request. We're basically screwed, which I never knew about a Kickstarter campaign. So that is true, I think. That is the reason why everyone says Kickstarter's a scam, is because you can basically set up a scam, and as far as I understand, you cannot get your money back. So I threw a pledge into the wind and have absolutely nothing to show for it. This is a complete and utter scam. Shame
The
on
next
you,
month,
Chris Hanson.
the segment started to...
Hang on, I just want to see...
People
what's
calling
there.
Hanson a con man and a scammer. The next month...
Thank you for following up. I'm sorry you've been experiencing these issues. We've reached out to the creator, remind their obligations to their backer. Forward along your concerns and those of your fellow backers. While we're disheartened they have not yet updated the backers of the situation, we're unable to force them to do so. It's the creator's responsibility to communicate and complete the project as promised. I knew it.
The segment started to air on national TV and began to be posted to YouTube. The series was praised, and many people called it a great revival of the once popular NBC show.
But it also, when this hit YouTube, it gave a boost to the old episodes as well. 100%. People just rewatched the old ones again.
But as the months went by, the rewards to backers were still not being
Where is my
delivered.
mug?
Even
Wait, what did that other
by
one say?
the rewards to
Where is my mug, Chris? Why don't you have a lawsuit? Hi guys, any updates on the
backers
rewards?
were still
Heading for 5 months without any update. Where are our rewards? Nigeria? I'm sorry, I'm not active in the chat, but I'm listening to the background. I'm playing real life movie now in the new house. Good luck with that. I hate moving. Garbage bag full of clothes. That's me.
Not being delivered. Even things that required no shipping, like custom voicemails, were not being delivered to backers, even though Chris said they had been delivered a long time ago.
Wait, so now he's starting to say they've been delivered as well? Okay, now that is a scam.
In September of 2017, nearly 2 years after the initial expected date of delivery, Chris Hanson bought $13,000 worth of merchandise from a Connecticut vendor, which included 355 ceramic mugs, 288 t-shirts, and 650 vinyl decals.
Okay.
These were for the Kickstarter backers. But according to the vendor, Hanson's initial check bounced.
Oh, he can't get a break. Oh my God. Filed a complaint against the TV host when he was still waiting to be paid. So he stole from the Kickstarter people for an amount of time, okay? And then he was like, okay, I need to fix this up because otherwise we're going to end up with a lawsuit. I just finish it, okay? Let's find someone who will take a check, like a fucking old man who still takes checks. And I'm Chris Hanson. Of course they're going to take my check. So we'll send him a check that's going to bounce. And then while we're waiting for the money to come through from YouTube, then we'll keep that guy on hold. That's what it seems like. Yeah, he's like 50, baby. Congrats, Juice Lee. What is it called when you shift money around to pay someone off? What is that? Is that Ponzi? Is that what that means? I can't remember what it's called when you pay someone off, like you're paying people off in different stages and you kind of end up with more money, but someone's always down. I can't remember what that is called.
And the business filed a complaint against Hanson in April 2018 when they were still waiting to be paid. In late April of 2018, over 7 months after the original check was supposed to be paid, Hanson issued another check to the vendor, but it bounced 3 days later. When the business asked Hanson what was going on, Hanson replied, "Peter, I truly thought I had this covered. I'm scrambling to get it done. Please give me till the end of the day. I sold a boat to cover the rest of this. I need to pick up the payment this afternoon."
Oh my God, I sold a boat. God damn, you know Hanson's down bad when he's selling his boats. And can you imagine Chris Hanson saying to you in his voice, "Peter, I truly thought I had covered." You know, like you'd listen to him. You'd believe him, anything. But at this stage, he's starting to remind me of when I turned like 15 and thought it was an amazing idea if I just always had 2 credit cards, right? And I had one, I'd take like $200,000 out, and then my other credit card, I'd just pay that one off and pay that one off. And I just switch back and forth, but I'd always have like 200,000. Doesn't work.
But another check never came, and the police issued an arrest warrant for Hanson. Hanson turned himself in and was arrested on the 14th of January 2019 and was released without bond on the promise to appear in court. It was very clear at this point that Hanson was in some serious money problems, and the day after reports of his arrests were made public on the...
You know when I said about the people that have that face where they look like Bill Clinton in their heyday, like they look like a cheater. Chris Hanson has the face. He has like the stereotypical cheater face for me. Like he is the guy, next door.
The 18th of January 2018, the Daily Mail obtained court documents that showed Hanson owed $58,000 to American Express, $126,000 to TD Bank, over $15,000 to Ali Financial, and over $1,078,000 to his mortgage lender, the US Bank Trust, according to complaints.
That one's kind of normal, right? That one at the end is kind of normal. To have $1 million mortgage nowadays is pretty fucking standard for a lot of people. But the rest of them, I don't know, the little loans are always a little scarier.
Filed in Connecticut courts over the previous 3 years. On top of all of this, Hanson also owed over $250,000 in bank taxes. And not only that, but he was also being evicted from his Manhattan apartment for not paying rent for the previous 5 months. Hanson was clearly in some serious issues. And at this point, any new move to solicit money from his fans should have been met with immediate backlash. But this was not the case.
Oh my god, he's gonna do a Logan Paul. Has he started an NFT or crypto coin yet? Take a seat coin.
Hey guys, just popping in here with an emergency meme video. Really emergency. This is really high pressure stuff. Chris is really starting to go in a new direction online with a number of different websites and channels and stuff too. Chris, we're talking to you right now. We want to help you. We love what you're doing. So Chris has got this new channel. He's launching a new website. He's going in a new, bold direction.
I didn't know Gus Johnson helped Chris Hansen out with anything. Do you guys know Gus Johnson? I don't see him around anymore. I saw him like on everything a few years ago, and now I just don't see him anymore.
Chris, a couple errors that we want to address. So I noticed Chris has uploaded about 60 videos in the last 3 days, which is okay, that's fine. I get it. You want a little catalog when people get there.
Yeah.
Let's watch his most recent video here, okay?
So the Chris Hansen update.
Chris Hansen updates.
Hey everyone, it's Chris Hansen. Hey everyone, it's Chris Hansen in New York City. Just wanted to tell you how excited I am about my new YouTube channel.
Let's go look at your header on YouTube. All right, let's go over here to YouTube. Come on. Dude. Come on, man. Speaking of YouTube stuff, I'm looking at your catalog here, Chris. I see that you wanted to have a culmination of some of your greatest hits. That's fine. I don't know what your licensing situation is, if you have the legal rights to upload old NBC clips or...
Oh my god, he started uploading NBC clips to his own channel?
Other Crime Watch Daily things. And not just even the NBC stuff, Chris. I'm looking here, you've uploaded an appearance of yours on Conan, a fan-made compilation of the best animated parodies of you, and like an Oprah appearance? I'm gonna go on a limb and say you don't own the rights to that. That's fine. Just maybe take those down?
Yeah.
Definitely take those down?
You can put them up in other places probably, like just your Instagram or Twitter, but on YouTube, that's gonna be a no for me.
Yeah.
Did he start an OnlyFans? That's coming soon, I believe, when he's 90.
That's a hard pass.
When he hits the 90, that's on his birthday, that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna show you his balls that are in his sock.
Despite the rocky start, Hanson's arrival on the YouTube scene was met with overall positivity. Many YouTubers, including Gus and Eddie and Mr. GG, promoted his channel.
Hey guys, Chris Hansen here, just breaking in to let you know that tomorrow night, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, on my YouTube channel, Hanson vs. Predators, the live show, a special guest, Mr. GG. Check it out.
It's so weird hearing Chris Hansen say anything that is like a that it's like a funny name, like a YouTube name or something, because he's normally in such a professional setting. Michael Dunn, welcome. I see Jamie got hold of you. Hi, Staffy. And with the latest stream right now. Wait. If I am, then it's only thanks to Jamie. So thanks, Jamie, you're an absolute star and fellow gang members. Welcome, Michael Dunn. Happy to see you here. Yeah, she did tell me she was doing the run around, trying to get you in here.
See you.
This is live, by the way.
And as a result, his subscribers and interest in his new projects quickly grew. At first, it seemed like Chris was using his YouTube channel to gain some interest in upcoming investigations. He heavily promoted his new website, but also got involved in analysing some other cases in the YouTube community.
Join me tonight live on my YouTube channel, HansonVSPredators.com, for the Austin Jones case. Tomorrow night on the live show, 8 Eastern, on my YouTube channel, Hanson vs. Predators, we're going to take a look at the Only Use Me Blade case. Ice Poseidon, modern day streaming shock jock, or is there something more disturbing going on Discord?
Is there something more disturbing going on Discord? I think I need to have lessons so I can do it. I want to try and do a whole episode with Chris Hansen voice on. Pretty sure the potato salad guy, as well as the guy who made a joke to fight for over the name Jeff or something like that. They were meant to be a joke, but they were overwhelmed by the response. Either way, those guys managed to find a way to follow through, and they were not even in as good of a position as Chris.
Check out my live show Wednesday, 8 Eastern on my YouTube channel, Hanson vs. Predators.
And Jeffrey Epstein?
Tune in tomorrow night at 8 Eastern on my YouTube channel, Hanson vs. Predators. We'll have the very latest on the Jeffrey Epstein human trafficking sex scandal and investigation. Major scoop in the Jeffrey Epstein case right now. Stay tuned. I'll have the very latest right here on all my social media and YouTube, as well as the website, HansonVersusPredators.com. More to come.
Okay, then. Chris was running his...
Is his channel still available? Is it still up? I don't know. What is it? Hanson versus Predator, right? I didn't spell it right. Okay. Wow, look at those views. Holy shit. There's a new channel now. It's called True Blue. Full episode, Good Deed Dave, Takedown with Chris Hanson. That came out 11 days ago. These are all new episodes. And that Hanson versus Predator channel isn't here. They're all uploaded on a channel called True Crime Daily. So that's interesting. We're having a blast here, learning about Chris Hanson. I am, anyway. I don't know about you guys. I hope you're enjoying this. But I love these kind of documentary-style videos, especially when they're, you know, like it's YouTube-orientated also. Oh, wow, I'm here. Yes, Michael, it is live. Thanks for the shout-out, guys. Not sure why I didn't get notifications, but hey, I'm here now, so I'll just enjoy. Jamie, thanks again. Girl.
His YouTube channel and website with the help of web guy Vincent Nicotra, a fellow New York resident who owned a website designing company called Venn Interactive Media. But as the weeks went by,
I don't know about this website so far.
It was pretty clear that Vincent was not the most competent when it came to this area.
What do you mean? Look at his little face. You can tell he's very competent at everything he does.
I mean, come on, the website looks like it was made by a 7th grader. But this begs the question of...
That's what I was thinking.
Why did Chris use Vince and not someone more competent? Well, it's because Vince would do it for free.
Staffy's dad is here again. Chris Hanson is my homie. Yeah, I bet. You guys go predator hunting together. I can imagine that is something that you are into, Dad. I can imagine you going around to people's houses, knocking on the door. I don't think you would say take a seat, but you'd say something.
Yes, folks, I talked to
Come
a few
up with your own catchphrase.
People that cover this story back in the day, and apparently Vince was not being paid for his work with Chris Hanson. Instead, he would be paid with exposure, with ads for his website being plastered everywhere on the YouTube channel.
And peanuts as well. Don't forget about that. He got free peanuts from Chris Hanson. Yeah, good old Staffy's dad. I don't think I've ever met someone who's... Let's see his little hand movement again, because that was very nice.
With exposure, with ads for his website being plastered everywhere on the YouTube channel. 2 incompetent individuals trying to make a start on YouTube.
Yes, I
what
love it.
could go wrong? Well, a lot, actually.
This
week.
Lindo is my homie as well. Yeah, I figured, Staffy's dad, you may have some connection with Lindo. You both might have some itch, I imagine. It used to be take a seat on YouTube, but he changed it again sometime after that Onision issue. Prior to that, he made an appearance on Crime Watch. Yeah, that's why I'm kind of interested to see what happens, because now it's something completely different. And I kind of want to have a look at this new video once we finish.
Live shows and update videos. Chris Hanson promised more Predator investigations coming soon on his website.
I know we always get, when's the next Predator investigation? Well, we moved some equipment around yesterday, as a matter of fact, for that. And that's all I'm going to say. It's coming. And I know everybody's anxious, and a lot of people want to set the timetable for me, but that's just not possible. It'll be very, very soon. Work, as well as some new investigations coming very soon. In a matter of days, we'll have my new website on Hanson vs. Predators with exclusive content and different kinds of stories, investigations into all kinds of predators. And you will see very soon new investigations, and we'll have new investigations as well.
I need to learn again about Onision because I went down that rabbit hole, and now I know there's something about Onision in this, but I don't remember. So I'm interested to find out about your homie, Dad.
So stand by, it's coming soon. Some investigations already under the works. We're about to get out in the field for another Hanson versus Predator. In the meantime, we're prepping to get out in the field for some more investigations. And we're working on some other investigations, including human trafficking. We sent some hidden cameras into some different locations, and we've got some very alarming results, and we're in editing on that piece right now. So, we hear about it's in the works.
So what, he's just bullshitting this whole time? He's just making all that stuff up? Yeah, we found some human traffickers. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, just another day at the office. Editing. And then it just never turns up.
Editing. Ashley wants to know when the new Hanson versus Predators investigations will be coming online. If everything goes as planned, it will be this fall.
You could purchase a subscription of $10 a month or $84 a year to watch exclusive content. In reality, there was only ever one piece of exclusive content shown, and it was an old investigation from the Crime Watch Daily era that they chose not to air because it involved a 19-year-old. There were no new investigations as promised, and to this day, nothing else has been published on the site other than a few extra bits of footage from investigation.
Chris never once did an investigation, although he stated numerous times that it was done and in editing, or they were just moving things around, or it was in the process. Each week he would give an update, then later it turned into scolding fans that no matter how bad we wanted it, that it would take time. Needless to say, he doesn't even mention a new investigation anymore. But who is this from? I don't know who that is. It can't mean much if you don't know who it is, right? Didn't he have a laptop that he didn't turn over to police and therefore ruined an important investigation? I don't know about that either. And thank you for the heart.
That had already aired. Hanson was held accountable for this by the TCAP community, and Vincent Nicotra, his web producer, was lumped into these videos, with the most popular examples coming from channels West Most and Bake Salmon. But
oh, there's some tiny channels. We're nearly there. We'll be there.
Hanson and Vince didn't like this very much, and stooped to the level that almost no YouTuber would ever stoop to.
What did he do?
They took down these critical videos using the copyright system.
Oh my god, what an ass. I knew he was going to do that. So, I can already guess what he's doing, this stupid idiot. I can guess that he's copywriting like NBC fucking videos, like clips. Let's see, maybe I'm wrong, but if that is what he's doing, that is it. I have no respect for the man anymore. Don't care how many pedos you've got. Did we watch Chris here where it took place in a trailer park and he did a guy with a glory hole? Or did I? That sounds like something. That sounds like some kind of weird fantasy, Jamie, honestly.
It wasn't just critical videos. The videos owned by NBC. Hanson might like to think he owns the rights to his NBC shows.
So this person put a strikeout on a piece of material that is my face, my image, my voice, my name.
But just in the clips we have, it's very clear that he doesn't. It's literally not how copyright works, Chris.
No.
It was pretty clear that Chris's insane assistant Vince was the one issuing these strikes to channels, and Mr. GG made a whole
Vince looks like a scientist, like an evil scientist to me, that he's just going around striking channels.
25-minute video going into the specifics of that if you want to watch it.
Chris Hanson had a live stream, and since he was traveling for work, he was in a different location that was somewhat near a member of the To Catch a Predator TCAP community. That member was Yap Yap. She thought it would have been cool to possibly meet Chris and get her book signed, so she was somewhat hounding him in the chat to see if he was up for it.
Oh, Yap Yap is a kind of a little bit of a stalker, I think, because Yap Yap was the one who was uploading those clips before that we saw. They were from the channel Yap Yap, so, and they have like 200 subscribers, so that is kind of interesting. And it did look like a straight rip to be fair, it did kind of look like a straight rip of a Chris Hansen video. It must have been someone else. It sounds amusing.
Chris never ended up addressing it in the live stream, and that was that.
Last week I was in Toronto, as many of you know, and a request came in from somebody who, I guess I don't really know them, if I was going to be available after the live broadcast to meet up. It just didn't work out. And I guess the people, or that person and some other people, were upset about that. And they went to the YouTube channel here, and they did what is called a copyright strike.
The video Yap Yap Struck was a video directly lifted from her channel. It was an NBC clip of a To Catch a Predator investigation with some minor edits and probably did not qualify for fair use. But because of pent-up frustration, unfulfilled promises, and a website subscription with a lack of content, she issued a copyright strike to Chris Hansen's.
What? Oh, this is crazy now. So Yap Yap made a video of NBC's fucking Dateline video with a couple of minor edits. And then Chris Hansen stole that video, uploaded it on his channel, and even though it wasn't really edited that much, then Yap Yap struck Chris Hansen because Chris Hansen wouldn't meet up with them. Goodness me. Damn, for a minute I thought you could see through my cameras talking about trailer parks and glory holes. Trailer Parks and Glory Holes sounds like an amazing TV show.
Channel. This
yeah, that's Glory Hole Jerry. Right?
Was not the right way to go about this. She clearly didn't own the rights to the clip, but she did take accountability and retracted the strike. Chris and Vince must have been a bit peeved off because they started to retaliate with their own copyright strikes, not only against Yap Yap for fair use videos and videos owned by NBC, but videos from other channels who did nothing wrong.
Oh my god, so then he took revenge on Yap Yap, and you could say, wait, how many? Look at all the strikes. Three strikes, that's it. Channel's gone. Like, it depends, but that's a takedown. So that means if Yap Yap decides to not take those down because of the time frame, there's a chance that Yap Yap's channel would be deleted, and then they would have to sort it out outside of YouTube. So they would have to go to court, which I don't think either of them would win. It doesn't belong to either of them. And then, you know, if Yap Yap won, which it would never happen, then the channel would be reinstated afterwards. So doing 3 takedowns like that is about, like, it's such a horrible thing to do because it means your channel's gone for at least the moment. Even if, yeah, it's just bad. It's just a really bad thing to do to someone.
Owned by NBC, but videos from other channels who did nothing wrong, including Baked Salmon, whose videos were undoubtedly fair use. Baked Salmon received not 1, not 5, not 10, but 13 claims, and his channel was removed as a consequence of this.
There you go, see? Channel gone.
In an email correspondence, Vincent says they were not wrongful claims. Vincent also struck Mr. GG's channel following his critical video.
Chris Hansen's failed assistant has recently issued 2 copyright takedowns on my content. Both videos of mine consisting of criticizing his childish behavior and his actions that go against YouTube's terms of service. Even now, he has yet again struck down Baked Salmon's channel, his new channel, because he won't stop.
People started to get angry that, you know, on the website, we haven't been quick enough for new content, you know, accusations that we were striking back at people because they're being critical of us, which is farthest from the truth. We struck back, and it was an effort, honestly, to protect the property, to protect what we were doing from whatever was motivating these people to do this. And it really...
What? You just said you weren't doing it, and then admitted to it in the next sentence. What the fuck are you talking about?
It was kind of bizarre to watch it all happen, but we did what we thought we had to do to protect it. And so some of these other channels were taken down.
Myself and all of the content.
Some of these other channels were taken down like it's nothing. This is their job, you idiot. You don't understand.
Creators struck by Hanson's meat scepter of reckoning had come to this community as fans of To Catch a Predator.
My channel's in danger, you guys. It's in danger, and I don't know how much longer it'll be around.
We were behind this guy. When we did use his content, it was generally respectful and reverent.
Chris Hansen is going around putting in false copyright strikes on as many channels as he can that have any anything to do with To Catch a Predator, you know? And like, I don't even do that stuff anymore, man.
The unapologetic way he dismissed our...
Does he talk like that all the time, or is it just like he sounds like he's about to start crying? Cinnamon Toast Ken reacted to the glory hole pred. Send it to your reactions. You don't have to watch unless you want to. I just wanted to make sure my mind didn't screw me over and you were just dreaming of glory holes. Yeah, okay.
Our counterclaims, the destruction he caused to all who dared tribute his work, and the maniacal way he destroyed his own integrity.
You're wrong in what you're doing, Chris Hansen. And you even said, we're doing this because someone did it to us. Okay, but it wasn't me. It wasn't these other folks you're getting their channels deleted. What's wrong with you, Chris Hansen? What's wrong with you, man? How much bitterness do you have in your heart to do this to people? This was me reading a Lorne poem, wearing my little Lorne mask. And you're trying to get my channel deleted for it.
Wait, let's see if that guy's channel is still around. Hold on. What was it? Based Shaman? Okay, he's still around. He looks a little bit different now. Wait, how many subs did he have in that video? Wait, let me see. $116, and he has 122. 2 years later.
Did it to us. I get my channel deleted for it.
Hey, I'm...
Following this situation, a lot of Hanson's original audience began to lose interest in him and his channel. His views started to tank, and the promises of new investigations with no delivery were all too disappointing for his previously loyal supporters. Chris really needed his next big break. The story that would really put him on the map. The promotion that would cast him into relevancy again. And he got just that. YouTuber Blair White went on Chris Hanson's show as a special guest to discuss a new case that Chris Hanson had not heard of before. The case of Onision, YouTube punching bag, potential predator, and professional creep. This collaboration brought many new people over to Chris Hanson's channel, and it was like a bomb was set off. The comments were thrilled that world-renowned predator hunter was going after one of the biggest pieces of trash on the platform.
That would be kind of exciting on YouTube to see that happening like in real time, you know? To hear Chris Hansen is going after a YouTuber that everybody knows to be apparently bad. I watched the channel for a bit while this was going on. That must have been exciting. I can imagine.
But just when things were looking up, disaster struck.
I hope you're having a pleasant Sunday evening. Chris Hansen here. I need you to do something right away, and it's critically important. The people at YouTube have banned a long list of words from use on YouTube channels.
Oh, he got the true crime ban.
Including the word predator.
Yes, that's true. I forgot the word predator. I could say it because I don't care. But I guess if you want monetization, you cannot say that word. Oh my God. And he says that in every single video he's ever been in. His whole channel was called that. That's fucking hilarious.
Say the whole word because I might get into trouble. That's a big problem for a guy like me who's got a channel called Hanson versus Predator. So now I have a new YouTube channel called Have a Seat with Chris Hansen. All the new exciting content is now going to go there.
Chris stated that his
That's why he called it that. But, oh, why didn't he just change the name? He could have just done a name change.
Channel was terminated for having the word predator in his channel name.
Oh,
but if we navigate...
Wait, it got terminated?
Chris Hansen, all the new exciting content is now going to go there.
Chris stated that his old channel was terminated for having the word predator in his channel name. But if we navigate to his old channel, it says it was terminated for multiple third-party claims of copyright infringement.
Oh, okay. So that is what really happened. I was going to say they would not get rid of your channel because it has that in the name. That's not something they would do. I don't even know much about Onision. Prior to that, Onision apparently tried to sue Chris, but sued the wrong Chris Hansen. I hope that's true. I hope that's true. Shout outs to the other Chris Hansen. That must be a pain being that guy.
And in a conversation with a YouTube representative, they told me this means his channel was terminated for getting over 3 copyright strikes. You can't tell me this wasn't because of the NBC clips he was uploading.
Right.
Thank goodness, Chris had live streamed Blair White's interview to 2 channels. Funny that, it's almost like he knew his current channel was in trouble.
Yeah.
Chris's next guest was Repsion, and this stream did very well, even better than the Blair White interview, and this brought back his subscriber count to respectable numbers. Everything was set up for a banger, and bangers he did receive. Chris interviewed Sarah, who was in many of Onision and Kai's videos and lived with them for months, and also Canadian musician Shiloh, who had been in a relationship with Onision and also appeared in many of his videos back in the day.
It's starting to feel more like drama though, right? Like, I don't know, just kind of interviewing old girlfriends from someone. It feels a little more dramatic than, you know, an investigation. This is scandalous. That is the word. That's the right word, Michael. That is what this is. It's a scandal.
These girls were given a platform by Chris to expose Onision's repulsive behavior, and everyone was behind him. He brought on more victims and people associated with said victims and exposed many aspects of Onision's life and YouTube image. Every stream consistently did very well, but some people felt like Hanson was trying to manipulate the narrative to sensationalize the story and keep the viewers interested.
My first thing was I spoke to Vincent, and basically I gave him the whole rundown about my experience with Onision's forums, my interactions with Onision, etc. I went over all that, and he said, okay, I'm going to forward this on to Chris.
Wait, isn't that guy... This is the guy that hates Australia and says it doesn't exist. I forgot his name, but this guy is like... has a vendetta against Australia, I'm pretty sure. He is the guy.
My first thing was I spoke to Vincent, and basically I gave him the whole rundown about my experience with Onision's forums, my interactions with Onision, etc. I went over all that, and he said, okay, I'm going to forward this on to Chris, and we'll do a call with Chris tomorrow. So we did a pre-interview the next day, and so we're doing this pre-interview, and it was basically exactly like the interview I did live on his show. It was basically the exact same conversation, plus or minus maybe a couple of questions. So it was the same thing the day before. At the end of this pre-interview, he basically turned to Vincent and they were going over what the plan was for the next show, the next day. And the thing that stood out to me the most was he said, I really want to hit home tomorrow night on this whole cult thing. And he was basically telling me and Vincent that he was going to be putting emphasis on Onision being a cult leader and stuff like that. So it was clear to me right then as well that, okay, he's not entirely being an unbiased reporter here. He's trying to paint a narrative here of Onision being a cult leader. I mean, he's asked me questions already about, do you think Onision's a cult leader? And I'm like, well, I can't really answer that. I mean, I don't know how to answer that. I mean, I think I gave a long answer in the interview. I don't remember what I said, but he kept asking me questions like that. They were very leading. Like, do you think he's a cult leader? Do you think he should be in jail? And I kept having to maneuver my way around these questions as to not, because I don't want to just say no, because it's like, well, I'm not someone who decides if Onision should be in jail or not. I mean, that's down to law enforcement. If he's broken a law, then sure, he should be in jail. But if not, then okay, he shouldn't. So he kept asking questions like that, and I could see how a lot of the other people who had done interviews before me would have felt very pressured into saying, oh yeah, definitely, he should be in jail. Like, I've watched the other interviews, and he sits at the end of the thing, he's sitting there going, so what do you think should happen to Onision? And he gives that really intense stare down the camera at them, and these are just nervous girls who don't know what they're talking about, and they're like, oh, he should definitely be in jail. It's a lot of questions like that I found that he kept asking.
For someone with 8 Emmys...
Interesting. But I agree that I think Chris Hansen has made a lot of people say things that they may not necessarily say, because I think he's trained. I think he's trained to be like this.
It does seem like Chris was preying on emotion in order to get more out of the story. Not exactly the most journalistic approach imaginable. On top of this, there also seemed to be some behind-the-scenes drama taking place that was somewhat overshadowing the actual investigation, mainly to do with Chris's web producer, Vincent Nakotra.
Oh,
Vincent,
poor old Vincent. What has happened to him now? What has happened to Vincent? What has he been into?
Was accused of making ableist jokes on Twitter.
Oh, what did he say? Looks like someone leaked Onision elementary school picture from his yearbook. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of a weird joke. It is kind of a weird joke, actually. A really, really strange joke for... Why is this guy saying anything anyway? Like, he's the fucking website designer.
He was hacked and also doxed people who he said...
Oh, and the good old just saying that oh yeah, I was hacked. What the fuck? And then he doxed someone?
Had hacked his account. Of course,
Oh
these
my god, again.
people were completely innocent, but this is Vincent we're talking about here. In a series of videos by Bakeline, they also expose some of Vincent's side projects for misinformation and malpractice. Vince claims to have created a website builder and a live stream application in-house by himself, but evidence from the video showed that you could buy these scripts online. This misinformation led potential users to believe Vincent knew what he was doing when realistically he was drastically out of his depth. On top of all of this and the false copyright strikes, there was quite a list of questionable things that Vince had done. Vince released an apology.
Like, it's not even it's, you know, as far as jokes go, right? Sometimes there are jokes that are inappropriate or offensive and you can't help but laugh and you think, I shouldn't laugh at that, you know? It's like, and with this kind of thing, it was just terrible. It wasn't funny and it was stupid.
Apology via Chris Hanson's Twitter account, citing poor judgment, ego, and emotional responses. Shortly after this, Vincent was...
I love how Chris Hanson is still trying to be professional. I am reviewing Vincent Nicastro's recent actions as they relate to Have a Seat with Chris Hanson and Hanson versus Predators, and considering next steps. When, you know, in reality, he sat down with Vincent and was like, can you not do that anymore, Vincent? Because... now people are talking about it. Or maybe he said the opposite and was like, keep doing it because I'm probably going to fire you one day soon anyway, and you're making you're making people talk about us, so that's fine. To the victims of predatory behavior, you are my absolute priority. I wholeheartedly regret that my actions caused any unnecessary distractions and a sideshow. I will never let that happen again. Best regards, Vincent. And he posted that on the Chris Hanson Twitter. Vincent Nicotra asked me to share this with you. I would like to sincerely apologize for letting my ego, anger, and short-sightedness interfere with my judgment recently. I take full responsibility for my actions, and I am deeply regretful for hurting and offending you all. That is so funny. Just him saying, Vincent asked me to share this with you.
Was officially fired by Chris Hanson.
As you know, I've recently been reviewing the actions online and in person of my web producer, Vincent Nicotra. Things he's said and done without my permission and without my knowledge. I've come to the conclusion that I can't condone much of what he's said and done, and I can no longer work with him in any way going forward. He's not going to be involved in any further projects.
The investigation...
I feel like Chris Hanson has girls call him, like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen Black Books, but there's this episode where this woman, Fran, is asking, like, she just wants to talk to this guy on the phone because of his voice. I think that's what people like Chris Hanson for. They just want him to read bedtime stories. But he supposedly got hacked, right? How you take responsibility. Exactly. That is not taking responsibility, just saying, yeah. I take responsibility that I had an account. Because it wasn't me, it got hacked.
Was back on track. Hopefully Chris learned from this and won't bring any more sketchy people on his team in the future.
Oh, yeah.
I think you can see where this is going. Attorney Mike Morse from Detroit was the next individual brought on by Chris Hanson. At first, this seemed to be the perfect fit. He could provide a legal perspective into what Onision was doing and make educated judgments about certain claims. Fantastic, Chris. This is what we like to see. But just one Google search for his name brings up a myriad of results.
Ooh,
and
yes,
none too flattering.
First at 6, a $10 million lawsuit pitting two high-profile attorneys against each other.
A client of Jeffrey Feiger is claiming Mike Morse did some disturbing things to her inside of Farmington.
Wait. Who is this guy? Godfrey Fieger. Why is he famous? Why do I know him? Or Jeffrey, sorry. I'm terrible with names. I'm terrible with spelling in general, okay? Forgive me. Jeffrey Nils Fieger is an American attorney based in Michigan. Senior partner law firm of Fieger, Kenny and Harrison. Wait, but what is he famous for? Legal commentator on NBC and MSNBC. He's been in something though. Educated. Sounds about right. Yeah, something like that. I like educated. I can't remember what he's been in. I don't know if he looks familiar to you guys, but I've seen him in something. I swear it was like a movie though. Oh, it might have been like a Netflix thing. Maybe it was like Tiger King or something.
Hills restaurant.
Attorney Mike Morse under fire again and being sued a second time on accusations of sexual assault.
Carolyn Stephen, this is the third lawsuit filed in the last 2 weeks, and this one involves a graduate student at the University of Michigan and a woman who otherwise wants her privacy protected.
Yet another woman filing suit against him.
Fourth, how can a man who bases his whole life around investigations and, you know, seemingly doing some of the journalism himself, how can a man who does that not just Google his attorney and find out about this stuff before you hire him?
Claiming sexual harassment as an employee at Morse's law firm.
Oh, no, never mind, guys. One of them committed perjury. No problem. Oh, no, never mind. The court says the others are still valid. Oh, no, it's going to the Michigan Supreme Court.
Well-known local attorney Mike Morse is denying claims from State Farm Insurance that he's been part of a multi-million-dollar fraud scheme involving what they consider bogus medical treatments.
Chris, how do you...
Holy fuck. It's not even just the worst of the worst with the sexual assaults. It's all like fraud and all kinds of shit. Like, he looks like the actor Martin Short. He does look like Martin Short.
Keep bringing on these sketchy people? I'm convinced this man does no research at all into the people he brings on his team and show. He did it with Vincent, he did it with Mike Morse, and he's done it many times since then. And I'll be going into that more in the next part of this series. Okay, enough with Mike. Let's move on. Over time, people started to lose interest in Chris's investigation. His views started to decrease.
But that is because he wasn't actually making any videos at this time. It was just him saying that videos were coming. But there was and him talking to people, but they weren't like actually him doing his good old take a seat moments, you know? What the fuck? This is madness on so many. I know.
It's mainly due
to start as well.
The fact that the people he was bringing onto his show weren't actual victims of Onision. He just needed one more thing to bring everyone's attention back to the story and to keep the heat on Onision. But what could that possibly be?
911, what are you reporting?
Hi, there's a person who's been stalking me online and they just showed up to my house.
Okay, and they're outside now?
Yes, they're knocking on my door.
Okay.
They have a bunch of camera people, like they're YouTube stalkers.
And the one that's knocking on your door, is he the main one that you said has been stalking you?
Yes, he's a stalker. He's yelling things at me through the door right now.
Okay, and what do we know his name at all?
It's Chris Hanson.
Well... All right, you guys want to watch it now? It'll be a very long stream if we go straight into this now. Or you want to do part 2 another day? There is a lot of things going on right now. I don't know if you guys know who XQC is as well. Just a little bit of breaking news. XQC has moved to Kick.com streaming platform from Twitch. Remember, Twitch is slowly collapsing and dying because of their, 50-50 split and decreasing with advertising and all kinds of things. XQC just got signed to Kick for supposedly $100 million, which I think is the same amount that Aiden Ross got when he went. So kind of breaking news there. Crazy. $100 million. Are we go on? We continue? Let's continue. Let's do it. Why not? Watch this. Both Chris Hansen and Onision sketchy. That's why it's interesting, because it's kind of two dodgy ones coming together. All right, we'll skip the previously because we already watched it.
If there's a common trend with washed up YouTubers, it's that they have one subject that they revisit to maintain relevancy. Chris Hansen is a perfect example of this, having cashed in almost exclusively on the Onision drama. And that is where the second part of our story...
Wait, what was it that all YouTubers do? What? Do I need to do this? They're both crybabies. Yeah.
...commences.
But to be fair, I think I would call the police if someone was just outside banging on my door constantly, you know, wouldn't go away. This is so confusing. Don't tell me Enzo is beefing with Chris Hansen and the Island Boys now. That would be good. He would totally go in the content house. If they asked Chris Hansen, he would probably go.
His coverage was by far one of the most...
Also, they need to go to arrest Red, either way.
...involved that had ever been seen before on YouTube, encompassing direct interviews with victims, law enforcement, and other...
I would love to see Chris Hansen get Red. Excuse me, Red. Red is your name, right? Take a seat. We're here to talk about Mina being underage.
...individuals in the psychology field to give an insight into the
YouTube psychobrad
known as Onision. At this point, there was no turning back. Onision was the only thing that could keep his channel alive, so Chris did the biggest stunt he could think of and flew to Washington State with controversial lawyer Mike Morse and a camera crew and knocked on Onision's door.
Oh, what a recipe for disaster.
911, what are you reporting?
Hi, there's a person who's been stalking me online, and they just showed up to my house.
Okay, and they're outside now?
Yes, they're knocking on my door.
Okay.
They have a bunch of camera people, like they're YouTube stalkers.
And the one that's knocking on your door, is he the main one that you said has been stalking you?
Yes, he's a stalker. He's yelling things at me through the door right now.
Okay.
Yes, he's a stalker. It's such a weird way of talking about this.
And what do we know his name at all?
It's Chris Hansen.
This set the internet into a frenzy, and heaps of YouTube commentary channels hopped on the story, only further increasing the publicity around Onision, and more importantly, Chris Hansen. I myself had some questions regarding why Chris would do this, as it was very unlikely that Onision would agree to an interview under those circumstances, as well as the last time Chris showed up to someone's house with a camera crew, it ended in a man's death. It seemed to me like a grasp to maintain relevancy, but I couldn't really say anything because of his visceral fan base that attacked anyone for being remotely critical of Hansen and his actions. But the number of people in support of Hansen would drop significantly over the subsequent months.
We can probably contact Chris Hansen at this point, right? We just send him an email. Chris, we got a new job for you.
And it all started when journalist Stephen Asarch dropped a bomb on Chris's investigation near the end of January 2020. Sarah was one of the victims of Onision interviewed by Chris Hansen on his show. She gave a very compelling testimony, and her strength in coming out about her experiences paved the way for others to give their stories as well. In these conversations, it came out that she had possession of a laptop and cell phones that apparently had some explicit images of Onision's once wife, now husband, Kai, sent...
I thought it was gonna be Chris Hansen. Damn. I was like fingers crossed. I was like, please have naked photos of Chris Hansen.
...to Sarah when she was still underage. Chris Hansen told her he had FBI contacts and that she could send the devices to him and he would make sure it got safely to the FBI. Okay. I mean, why wouldn't multi-time Emmy Award winner Chris Hansen not have FBI contacts? So on Chris...
Good point. I think I would expect Chris Hansen to have FBI contacts.
...his direction, she sent the laptop and mobile phones to Chris's incompetent web producer, Vincent Nicotra.
Oh no.
Okay, interesting move to leave them in the hands of someone like Vince, I guess, but...
No, wait, so she sent the underage photos to Vince?
This is Chris Hansen. I'm sure he knows what he's doing, right? Right? On the 22nd of January 2020, journalist Stephen Asarch dropped a bomb on Chris's investigation in relation to Vince's mishandling of evidence. According to Asarch, Sarah thought that her laptop and phone was with the FBI for months, but in reality, it was sitting in the office of the useless Vincent Nkotra. The package was shipped on November the 7th to Vincent's address.
But this did have her, this had her shit on it, right? That is nuts.
Under Chris's name, and Vince claims that Chris Hanson told him not to touch it and wait for further instructions.
Oh, you know Chris Hanson's gonna say the opposite.
The package sat with Vincent, unopened, for months. Apparently, Sarah didn't know what was going on at all, and after conversations with Chris and Vincent, her devices were shipped back to her. Chris said that he called the FBI immediately, but didn't want to ship it around without knowing the proper chain of custody. Time went by, and he didn't hear anything back. You can play the blame game here for hours, but at the end of the day, Chris was the one who bungled this laptop.
That's true.
He
was the one he said he was going to do something about it, right? So it's no one else's fault.
Told Sarah to ship it to Vincent and didn't give Vincent any extra information on what to do with it. On top of this, Vince said the original plan was to copy the contents of the hard drive and then ship it to the FBI? Like what? You can't do that. That's tampering with evidence. Any competent criminal defense lawyer would get this thrown out immediately. That's the level of amateurish conduct we're seeing here. And make no mistake, it was all because of Chris Hanson. This event sparked a revolution of sorts in the community. The vast majority of comments under Stephen Asarch's post were in agreement that Hanson's operation was an absolute trash fire. And this is where Chris's house of cards started to fall.
Go Daddy makes it. Sorry. We got in there. This is very interesting though. I know we're learning about this like 2 years later, but it's still great. It's a really good video. Very happy I stumbled upon this again. I've been wanting to find it and watch it properly because last time I didn't get a chance to, so I'm enjoying this a lot.
Over time, Chris started to run out of people to interview on his show. All the reasonable choices had been exhausted, so he decided to go out and scrape the bottom of the barrel. And out came this woman, Holly Hayes. Holly Hayes runs a Tumblr blog about Onision. Wait, what? Yes, you heard me right. Big famous TV journalist Chris Hanson is now interviewing Tumblr blogs.
We came across a woman named Holly Hayes who has a site called OnisionHurtsPeople.tumblr.com, and over the last couple of years has amassed a database virtually of...
Yes, this was 2 years ago, yes. He's on to new things now, which I am interested to see. Honestly, what can he be doing now?
People who...
How can he get any lower?
Been impacted by Onision.
Oh, this is going to be great, right? I can feel the knowledge entering me already.
How did you first become aware of Onision yourself?
So I log on YouTube one day in like 2011 or something, and I see a picture. It's a thumbnail of Shiloh and some guy standing beside her. And then I looked at the guy next to her, and I kid you not, every hair on my body stood up on end. I just immediately got vibes of like there's something so wrong with this person. And ever since then, I've been following his career. It's
oh my God, these are the type of people you never want to run into. Never, ever, ever. You know, someone who just becomes obsessed with you or someone else because they got bad vibes. So they start a whole website. It's just crazy.
It's like, you know, when someone has a fever and you put your hand up to the forehead and you could feel the heat coming off them. It was like that, but darkness.
Now, if you thought that an alarming and hair-raising darkness emitting from thumbnails was crazy enough, Holly goes on to tell Chris that Onision has confirmed kills.
On the more severe side, I have literally had people starve themselves to death because of Onision.
Now, he's not going to take this seriously, right? No. End call, don't post.
And his rhetoric on YouTube.
Now, when you say starve yourself to death, people didn't actually die.
No, they died.
You have cases where somebody died in relation to starvation.
Yep.
Now, when met with this baseless accusation live on air to thousands of people, what would a proper reporter do?
Wait, what would I do? Let me think. I'm not a reporter at all, obviously. But what would you do? I'm just trying to think. I wouldn't know what to do. I would probably just say, "You're joking, right?" Who? I would be very honest.
Maybe ask for proof? Evidence, maybe? Say this hadn't been confirmed?
Tell me about that case.
So the sister of the
He
girl
just lets her keep talking live to thousands of people. Now, the reason this girl looks all out of it is because she was actually high on Xanax while doing the interview.
It just keeps getting better.
Great job, Chris. Really credible people that you're bringing on. Literally interviewing Tumblr blogs to make more money. It couldn't possibly get any worse, could it?
Coronavirus.
In March, the coronavirus pandemic took the world by storm. And rightfully so. At the time of recording, there are over 13 million confirmed cases and over 600,000 deaths worldwide.
No, all fake.
Due to COVID-19. So, with such a shift in focus and a hot topic like this, what do you think Chris Hanson will do?
Good evening and welcome to Have a Seat with Chris Hanson. You are now on the
I'm going to get it now, aren't I? I'm going to get it because I said that. Again.
Front lines in a battle against a predator called COVID-19.
Yes, folks, Chris Hanson, former host of To Catch a Predator, is now producing streams on the coronavirus pandemic. For his first very insightful stream, he interviewed a company that claimed to have one of the...
Which was a really bad idea on YouTube. If you had a YouTube channel, not long after the pandemic happened, like around March, right? So early days. You couldn't mention the pandemic. You couldn't say COVID-19. And if you put it in your title, anything in your thumbnails, your videos got absolutely tanked because they just realized people were just capitalizing on it. So that was it. So bad move on his part. I done a very British, you feel me? Whereas you were spot on with your wording.
The greatest inventions in scientific and technological history. A pandemic-ending vapor for commercial applications that they claimed would kill the coronavirus for up to 70 to 90 days. A representative for Nanovapor Biotech, the company in question, went on Chris Hanson's show as a medical expert, but started rattling off about his product about halfway through the stream.
As you know, many household cleaners are quite good at killing various microbes. The issue is that once you've cleaned, if someone touches that surface 5 seconds later or a minute or an hour later, you've infected that same surface. Our company, Nanovapor Biotech, has come up with a solution. We have a
He's just pitching an ad right now. And we all know now that was bullshit.
Non-toxic, water-based, no residue product that can be applied to any surface. And not only does it immediately kill the virus, but incredibly, our research is showing that it will kill the virus for up to 70 to 90 days.
70 to 90 days.
If it seems like these people were born yesterday, that's because they probably were. The website domain for this revolutionary product was registered the day before the stream on Chris Hanson's channel.
God.
The website was, as you can see, very well crafted. I mean, look at the resolution of these pictures here.
So it's just a straight up scam?
The Twitter account for this miraculous yet uncertified coronavirus killer had 5 followers according to an archive a few days after the stream, and to this day only has 2 tweets up on the account. A tweet telling people that the product had been showcased on Chris Hanson's show, and a retweet from Chris Hanson telling people about the product. The Facebook page was equally barren, with 2 likes, a banner that looked like it was made in Microsoft PowerPoint in 10 seconds using the default Calibri font, and the only post being another promo for the Hanson stream.
This is a molecule that forms these bonds that, when sprayed on a surface using proprietary nanotechnology, will create, if I can put it in lay terms, almost like spikes that point up. Those spikes can stay into place for months and years. Again, this is perfectly safe. You can even put this on your hands, and your hands would kill the virus for up to 24 hours. So it's a very safe product.
You just become a virus hunter with spikes on his hands. My goodness, what absolute dog shit this was.
Now, if we go back to their website for a minute, it does actually have a case study linked that is supposed to measure the effectiveness of their product in a real-life setting. The study in question is 2 pages long with large type font and was done in private medical clinic. Yes, the clinic who provided the premises for the study didn't even want their name attached to the product. Nanovapor Biotech, the coronavirus killer, can prove itself in just 2 pages of research? Absolutely amazing! This is the panacea that will save all of humanity, right? Well, since the stream, Nanovapor Biotech has removed all mentions of it being a coronavirus killer from their branding. Probably because the only place it was ever tested was for a short amount of time in a regional New Jersey hospital where the chief of surgery is literally the dude who went on Chris Hanson's show. From what I can see, there is no proof the product actually worked at all. Chris Hanson not only allowed these people to come on his show to promote this product with no valid research to back up their fantastic claims, but was also most likely paid for this integration. And if he wasn't, he should have been, because he does a nice shameless ad read for it in the middle of the stream.
So this is technology that, for instance, was used.
He definitely got paid for it, right? It's Chris Hanson. He's so desperate for money.
To clean a fuel tank of some sort using this, and correct me if I'm wrong, dispersion type system, but it also has an application to disperse and effectively use antibacterials, antiviral chemicals to kill this virus for 70 to 90 days.
So this is nanotechnology.
Just a few weeks ago, the stream was removed from Chris Hanson's channel by YouTube for violating their community guidelines, no doubt for spreading misinformation about the coronavirus. So if you needed any more proof that this was a scam, there it is. Despite all of this, Chris even tweeted it out. Why would he promote a product that there is literally no information on? Well, he seems to have done it quite a lot.
I thought it was going to be for Pizza Hut now. Domino's, I mean.
Oh, Pablo Escobar.
Hey guys, Chris Hanson here of Hanson vs. Predators, and to catch a predator, I just wanted to tell you all that I've seen this amazing new smartphone called the Escobar Fold 2. It appears to be the best phone out right now. I've been looking at the transcripts, so have a seat, check it out, and remember, I'll be watching.
You know, Colombian drug lord and narco-terrorist who is the founder and sole leader of the Medellin cartel, dubbed the king of cocaine, the wealthiest criminal in history, monopolizing the cocaine trade into the US in the 80s and 90s, and was also responsible for the death of over 3,000 people? Yeah, him. Well, the brother of the late Pablo Escobar, Roberto Escobar, the former chief of assassinations, decided to take the family name and capitalize on a new market: smartphones.
What? This is crazy. This is fucking insane. Wait, let's have a look. Is that still going? Escobar phone. Roberto Escobar, brother of the late drug lord Pablo Escobar, has launched a foldable smartphone called the Escobar Fold 1. The entry-level model costs $349, has 128 gigabytes of storage and 6 gig of RAM. It's not even bad. The pricier model is $500. It has 512 gigabytes storage, 8 gigabytes RAM. That is crazy. I bought this thinking it was guaranteed. Is it still out? People are asking for the second one. The Escobar Fold 2. Appears to be a $399 Galaxy Fold clone. That was in 2020. That is very interesting. Wow. What doesn't this story have?
Escobar Inc. says it's releasing an advanced smartphone with a foldable screen.
I'm not new to electronics. I'm a person that has liked electronics for a long time, and we wanted to come out with a telephone that was different than all others in the world.
I know, I can't believe it. I that's the thing. That's why this is so unbelievable. It's like, Chris, do you not have Google on any of your devices? Like, just if you don't know who Pablo Escobar is,
Swedish entrepreneur Olaf Gustafsson is CEO of Escobar Inc.
The best technology in the world is to have a foldable phone right now. We are changing things. We are the new Steve Jobs, and we are trying to get some fresh air into this business.
We saw headlines of another new Escobar Fold phone. It was the Escobar Fold 2. And once again, there were articles, there were headlines, there were even some videos of this new thing, a $400 Escobar folding phone that looks like this. It's looking kind of familiar again. Oh, that's just a Samsung Galaxy Fold. You take a bit of that gold off of the hinge on the back, and right underneath is that Samsung logo, right where it's supposed to be.
What? Oh my god, that is insane.
Okay, you may be thinking, why on earth are we talking about Pablo Escobar? And how on earth does this link back to Chris Hanson? Well, Chris did a little promo for this phone that Escobar used on their website and YouTube channel to advertise their product.
Hey guys, Chris Hanson here of Hanson vs. Predators, and to catch a predator, I just wanted to tell you all that I've seen this amazing new smartphone called the Escobar Fold 2. It appears to be the best phone out right now. I've been looking at the transcripts. So have a seat, check it out, and remember, I'll be watching. Take care.
It boggles my mind that Chris Hanson would promote anything with the name Escobar attached to it, but this whole story becomes even more inexcusable when you find out that the Escobar Fold phones were really just a scam to steal money from innocent people.
But the Galaxy Fold costs $1,800, and the Escobar Fold 2 costs $400. So how are they pulling this off? My theory is that they are going through orders, finding the names of YouTubers or just people in tech media or people who they think will talk about the phone if they get it, and shipping those, and then just not shipping the rest.
Since then, the clip has been copyright struck and removed from Escobar's channel. Hanson definitely didn't have the rights to that either. He doesn't have the copyright.
Isn't he an investigative journalist, though? That's what I'm saying. I don't understand what's happening here. That's such an interesting story, though. Oh, one of these people. I own the copyright to my face, which is what you used without permission. You were clearly desperate to use someone who gets views. I can't say what I want to say, but, you know, they're the most annoying type of people. I own the copyright to my face. My name is copyrighted. My username is copyrighted. Fuck me. I hate those people, really. They're the worst. They're the people that annoy me the most. Because they just sound so stupid, you know? Seems like he plays the naivety card much. He needs to just leave those taglines alone. They're not doing anything for him. Yeah, I guess he just got paid. I don't think he cares about anything. It's just the dollars. It's just the dollar sign. You see that and he goes blind.
Right to his face, but hey, we'll just gloss over that. As you may have realized by now, this Chris Hanson clip came from Cameo. Cameo is a site where you can pay celebrities various amounts of money to record a video message for you.
This does have everything. The Island Boys weren't in this at this stage.
Normally, it would be a personalized birthday message or something of that sort, but unlike most people, Chris Hanson does no research into the things he's paid to say on Cameo, and as a result, he will promote just about anything if you pay him $50.
Wait, is he still on Cameo? Let's have a look. Yep. Oh, a little bit more expensive, but that's Australian. So wait, let me find out. So that is. Hold on. Let's find out. What was it? 109. 109 Australian. So that is 75. He's gone up. He's gone up 50%. $75 for Mr. Hanson to do whatever you want now. Let's see. Let's watch one.
And have a seat with Chris Hanson. Now I'm going to need you.
Wait. Let me fix this.
Chris Hanson here of Hanson vs. Predators. To catch a predator and have a seat with Chris Hanson. Now I'm going to need you
all of you to have a seat right over there. That's right, have a seat right there. Because there's something very important you need to know. I am on Cameo, and I'll be watching. Rich, what am I to do with you? First of all, this very suspicious screen name, Dick Danforth. What do you mean by Dick Danforth, Rich? Chris Hansen here, Hanson versus Predators, to catch a predator and have a seat with Chris Hansen. Now, Rich, I'm going to need you to have a seat right over there. We're going through some transcripts, and I have some questions and some concerns. You know, Rich, you should know this, but we're still dealing with a pandemic. You're still supposed to be socially responsible.
It's very quiet. Let me turn this up a little. Oh, that's as high as I can get it. I'm sorry.
Going online and saying things and doing things and visiting suspicious sites, especially so close to your wedding to Katie. Does Katie know about all this? It's the sort of behavior.
Okay. Well, it's very...
Kieran, what am I to do with you? First of all, this very suspicious screen name, KM Daily 95. What do you mean by KM Daily 95?
It is like the video that the Island Boys did for Epstein. Some of you guys, I don't know if you know, but the Island Boys did a cameo for Gideon Maxwell, however you say her name, Ghislaine, Giswell, whatever. Here, where is it? Here it is.
Hi, Ghislaine Maxwell. Jeffrey wants to thank you for all your help on the island. Please keep it quiet. Jeff is still getting massages up there. Heavenly. Jeff wants you to know that he's hanging in there. Jeff is an island boy. Oh, Jeff is an island boy. Oh, Jeff is up there in the island. I'm just letting you know he's getting massages right now. He's chilling. He really do vibing.
There you go.
Vibing.
That is one of the many reasons why people believe that the stupid island twonks are victims of Jeffrey Epstein, because they very stupidly did a cameo without realizing what they were talking about.
Chris Hansen here of Hanson versus Predators, to catch a predator and have a seat with Chris Hansen. Now I'm going to need everyone to have a seat because Honey Milk has finally created an OnlyFans.
Oh, that's not. Oh my God, he's promoting someone's OnlyFans? Honey Milk.
Uploads and direct communication. Now I'm going to need you, Tim, to have a seat right over there. That's right. Right in the front seat of that plane in which you're going to be training. Very cool, son. Congratulations. I hear you've gotten into the Epstein pilot program before even finishing high school.
This clip is probably the best $50 I've ever spent. The idea that Chris Hansen, completely lacking self-awareness, congratulates a kid on getting into the Epstein pilot program before finishing high school and doesn't pick up...
I feel like the Epstein meme, I didn't even pick up on that either. Fuck, I would have done the same. I feel like the Epstein meme just going around on Cameo and getting people to talk about Epstein was a thing, right?
It's in direct communication. Now I'm gonna need you, Tim, to have a seat right over there. That's right. Right in the front seat of that plane in which you're gonna be training. Very cool, son. Congratulations. I hear you've gotten into the Epstein pilot program before even finishing high school.
This clip is probably the best $50 I've ever spent. The idea that Chris Hansen, completely lacking self-awareness, congratulates a kid on getting into the Epstein pilot program before finishing high school and doesn't pick up on any of the jokes there is mind-blowing to me.
He will even go as far as to shout out one of his biggest detractors.
Chris Hansen here of Hanson versus Predators, to catch a predator and have a seat with Chris Hansen. I'd like to give a big shout out to Nicholas Diorio. He's a great YouTuber. He's never doxed or harassed anyone as far as I can tell.
Nick paid for this clip just to rub it in Shiloh's face. And remember, Shiloh is one of the alleged victims that Chris Hansen is representing, who also initiated a targeted harassment campaign against Nick for no reason at all. I covered that whole situation in my Onision video. But just think a bit more about this. If Chris is willing to say all of this for $50, just what will he say for a more...
Exactly. That's why it's so funny. He's congratulating people for hanging around with a pedo.
significant amount.
These cyber grifters and others like them lurk in every dark corner of the web. The good news is, with a little healthy skepticism, they're easy to avoid if you learn how to spot the warning signs of a scammer.
You have to do your research, no matter what. I personally believe it starts with knowing who you're working for.
This is a clip from a series that Chris Hanson was a part of called Scam Report. If you've never heard of it, I don't blame you. It was only published at the beginning of this year, and you can only really get to it from a direct link to a website that other people have to send to you as part of a massive pyramid scheme run by fake guru John Crestani.
You can do this even if you have no experience. You can do this even if you have no tech skills, even if you don't even have a computer, or if you're not even 18 years old. Now,
you know, when any video that says any of those things, it's a scam.
What is John Crestani telling these kids to do? Well, to sell his product, to sell his fake guru system.
What? That is CoffeeZilla? What? He doesn't look like the same person. This is like one of my favorite YouTubers now.
It's old. Now, what is John Crestani telling these kids to do?
Oh my God. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy.
Well, to sell his product, to sell his fake guru system.
Search for my last name, because the product we're going to be selling is actually my product.
Crazy.
So what he does is he says, hey, he posts a bunch of videos about how to make $100 a day on Twitter, Instagram, WhatsApp, whatever it is. And then he tells you, sell my product.
Now, I get these messages.
Ah, crap. Michael, myself, and 2 other people are the only ones left in the live. I know, we're doing a long one today. I don't think you guys are, well, some of you guys are not used to, you know, doing a marathon.
Is all day long that ask
Yeah,
me
was
to
crazy.
sign up for different business opportunity programs via text message. And this is the same sort of message that you want to use for your message.
I'm like Lindo, like a month or 2 ago, you know, when his views like went right down and then they're booming again. So, you know, that's what's happening.
That you're going to send out via Twitter.
According to this video, this Scam Report episode was sponsored by Pendragon Labs. And you won't guess who owns Pendragon Labs.
Of course.
Yep, John Crestani.
I personally believe it starts with knowing who you're working for. If you just trace it back, is there a person that I can identify that is behind this company? That is the easiest thing you can do
Yeah, he identifies with himself.
first. So do your research. You should spend a couple minutes looking up the company, looking up the founders, looking up who you're going to be working for. Why wouldn't you do a little bit of research?
I guess Chris Hansen didn't know who he was working for, since John Crestani is a well-known scam artist, with countless videos made exposing his scummy actions. Ironically, Hansen was brought on to promote a book which is said to help you protect yourself from scams, but the book is actually a scam itself.
Oh,
Crafting a
just
sports
keeps
bet
getting
site.
better and better and better.
Statements contrasted with the extremely shady website that this video links to doesn't really make a lot of sense either.
There are more scams out there on the internet than there are legitimate opportunities by far. Just because it's marketed as free and easy and it can make a ton of money, don't just fall for any shiny object that's thrown your way.
Crestani's...
Every time someone says something like that to me, I think, but that is what you're doing. Every time. Every single time.
revolutionary book is advertised as costing only $1. But when you go to their payment section, it adds a magic $40 monthly fee on top for a subscription to their service.
It's hard to overemphasize the importance of research when embarking on a work-at-home business. And this book is a great place to start. It's filled with the wisdom John Crestani gleaned from years of trial and error.
That's so much worse than just having the book cost $41. $1 and a monthly fee, a $40 per month fee. That is just awful.
And is available to you now.
So essentially, Chris Hansen was given a sum of money to promote a make money from home scam.
Exactly.
That used his name, reputation, and
Hold that flag, Michael. Thank you.
influence to draw in unsuspecting victims to John Crestani's den of deception.
I'd like to introduce you to my friend Benjamin and his friend Benjamin. and his friend Benjamin and Benjamin and Benjamin and Benjamin and Benjamin. This is what's called 10 racks.
What is going on with the hair? It's that is a new style. It's like it makes like his head look like it goes in and then comes back out like a little mushroom.
They say in the hood.
There are more scams out there on the internet than there are legitimate opportunities by far.
Despite this being a massive scam, John Cristani does say some things that I think Chris Hansen should take to heart.
I personally believe it starts with knowing who you're working for.
I just wanted to tell you all that I've seen this amazing new smartphone called the Escobar Fold 2. It appears to be the best phone out right now.
You should spend a couple minutes looking up the company, looking up the founders, looking up who you're going to be working for.
I've been looking at the transcripts.
Why wouldn't you do a little bit of research?
So have a seat, check it out, and remember, I'll be watching.
But surely this is the only scam that Chris Hansen has promoted, right? This is obviously a one-off thing. He just made a mistake. Okay, Chris, just don't do it again. But while I was scrolling through Hanson's Twitter in research for this video, I came across a tweet from February showing Hanson in a studio. We know that Chris has promised new investigations for ages, so was this finally proof he was working on something fresh? Hold on, what's that there on the floor? Let's enhance. Wait, this isn't a new investigation. This is another scam! Hanson's branding is all over this website called Debt Relief Secrets, where you can pay $40 to have a book sent to you that is supposed to give you the key to dramatically reduce your debt.
It's just the same over and over and over again.
The website...
I'm convinced now. I'm convinced that he knows. There is no way he is making mistake after mistake after mistake. He knows what he's doing. He doesn't care.
Scream scam. And it gets even worse when you get to the testimonials section, because the scripts they gave to the different actresses to promote this book are pretty much identical.
This taught me so much about creditors.
This taught me so much about creditors.
I finally feel in control of my finances.
And for the...
Do you reckon when that guy's around all his friends with the same haircut, he looks totally normal? You really? I don't think so.
First time, I finally feel like I'm in control over my own money.
And I will never be taken advantage of again.
I will never be taken advantage of again.
Everyone should read this.
Never say that.
Really, you guys? You want to read this?
Oh my gosh, that's bad. But I do remember something from John Cristani, though.
I personally believe it starts with knowing who you're working for.
Luckily for all of you at home, I did find out who Chris Hansen was working for. The website is apparently copyrighted by Finance Dream Team LLC. And if we look at the business filing for this company, its founder is listed as Anthony Sarandrea, who's another guru focusing on internet marketing. Ironically, he only
just keeps going. They're like all linked together.
66 subscribers on his YouTube channel.
69.
And although his company, SiteFlood, is apparently a large digital advertising agency and has led him to consulting several Fortune 500 and Fortune 1000 companies on branding, sales, and direct marketing strategies, he only has one testimonial listed, and the articles he uses to establish his credibility are either from years ago or from janky sites I've never heard of. His Instagram has an engagement rate of 0.35%, which is one of the lowest I've ever seen, and he is, all around, an extremely questionable individual. The fact that Hanson would sacrifice his name and professional reputation for a product like this is mind-boggling to me. Keep in mind, this was in February, in the middle of his peak on YouTube. But mistakes happen. And when you're in the fast-paced world of online media production, it's easy to commit even a second serious error in judgment. Brett?
I want to get to this. Wait. Struggle Street today. How many ads has this guy got on his video?
And promoting these extremely sketchy products and groups, he also peddles a culture of false hope when it comes to the people he investigates on his YouTube channel, namely to do with Onision. After all this time, Chris Hansen was still plodding along.
Yeah, I know. It is crazy how deep it goes. Must work with that guy that borrows cars for music videos and doesn't pay child support. There's a few of those. It also works for people like Andrew Tate and his course, like the Hustlers University one. I'm trying to think of the other ones. There's a bunch of them.
Along with his aimless...
That CoffeeZilla guy who was talking about it, That's all his channel is. He just talks about all those kind of scams.
Onision investigation, but the heat was eventually...
And they're all the same. They all just like offer a course, tell you to trust no one else. They're the only ones telling the truth.
Put on...
Make money easy.
Chris. After months of rejecting Hanson, with Onision asking for an absurd amount of money to do an interview, the YouTube psycho brat himself agreed to do an interview with Chris Hanson at no cost. Onision invited him on his channel for a conversation, and Chris declined, thinking that Onision was inviting him to do a show on OnlyFans.
This probably won't come as a shock to most of you, but I will not be going on Greg James Onision's, the YouTube psycho brat from Washington State's members-only paid porn channel.
What? Why would he invite Chris Hanson onto his OnlyFans?
So Onision agreed to go on Chris Hanson's show on one condition: disable all monetization. Chris rejected that request, saying that there would be no conditions. He got severe flack for this, and 30 minutes later he caved and said he would demonetize the interview. You would think that right now everything would be set up, but no. Chris's lawyer alerted Onision that the interview would now be pre-recorded, which makes no sense at all.
What?
Onision said yes to this condition as long as he could live stream the conversation on his channel to ensure that nothing would be taken out of context. In fact, one of the conditions for Onision being interviewed by Keemstar is that nothing could be cut out, so it's not unreasonable for Chris to be held to the same standard. But Chris rejected it again, even after Onision agreed to do it pre-recorded.
It's become clear to me now that there's no way to do an interview with him, at least at this point, without him trying to exploit a live version of that interview. So in the meantime, it appears there will be no interview unless he can actually sit down and do a real interview where he actually answers to the allegations. In the meantime, I'll remind you of something I said a while back. I was a reporter before he was born. I'll be a reporter after he goes to prison. Hopefully, where he won't have a lot of access to making those videos on the internet.
But what makes this go from insane to absurd is that Chris was willing to ambush Onision.
This is the part that I wanted to get back to.
In his own home for the upper hand, and he wouldn't consent to a live debate on an even playing field. He still argued the only way to have a fair conversation is to stack the narrative in his own favor. Chris is scared to interview Onision. Don't forget this. And as it turns out, so is the rest of the community who makes videos on him. He also basically lied before this Twitter video went up. Onision dropped the emails where he literally said fuck it and agreed to do it pre-recorded with no catch hours before this Twitter video went up, making that entire last 2 minutes completely irrelevant because Onision was actually willing to sit down with Chris Hanson. I've heard the going rumor that Chris's lawyer middleman just didn't check his email, but forgive me if
imagine that's the case.
I'm inclined not to believe him. So just to summarize, Chris said he wouldn't go on Onision's channel, and then Onision compromised. Chris said he wouldn't do a live stream, and Onision compromised. To say Onision has played games here is wrong, and he compromised far more than Chris did in this situation. It's just a fact.
And now, a break from our regularly scheduled programming. We have my good friend Cordwit to talk about Chris Hanson's Emmy.
I know, yeah, it's true. It's the same with all of them, though. It's the same with a lot of those, make money quick guys or people that are supposed to be kind of leading the youth of today. They absolutely do not give a fuck. But that no one will ever see it because they play it too well, you know? But I guess that's their shtick. That's what they are good at. Pretending. God damn, that's a lot of blocking.
I'm sure that at this point in the video you're probably getting very angry with this Chris Hanson bloke and you want to tell him how you feel about his actions. Well, funny enough, he can't take criticism. Hello there, I'm your friendly John Swan ripoff. If you've seen me around on Twitter, you might have
No, we're
After
skipping forward.
And then she
skipping
said-
forward to the Onision part because he keeps teasing it and then doesn't show it.
Hanson rejected the interview, many people actually called it a win for Onision, which is something I thought I would never say. Chris really couldn't continue to talk about Onision forever, so he needed a new target. And he got just that with Darby Vanity. I don't know much about this situation, so I can't really speak on it, but apparently there are many concrete examples of Darby Vanity being predatory towards minors, and police reports have been filed, so at least something is going right there. Despite this new target, he kept on updating the audience on Onision at the end of every single stream.
You can guarantee that we will continue these two investigations into Onision, the YouTube psycho brat from Washington State, and Davi Vanity. Much more to come. A lot of work on the part of law enforcement, but it's happening. There was a lot of talk today and yesterday about the YouTube psycho brat in Washington. That investigation is far from over. We're staying on top of the Onision investigation.
Oh,
a lot of
about
these
that guy that just popped up.
things take time, and I know people want revelation every week, especially when it comes to Onision. As you all know, this has been a place where we also investigate Onision, and it is very much moving forward. So we are expecting to see some results in the very near future. Before we wrap up, I want to let you know that we've been doing a little bit of reporting on the Onision James Greg Jackson YouTube psycho brat from Washington State story. We will, as I said, continue this investigation and our investigation into Greg James Jackson Onision.
We'll continue with our Onision investigation, and as I mentioned, Davi Vanity and many more.
That is the end of this video. Goodness. Oh, hello, Nicole. Joined late. Hi, everyone. Hey, how's it going? I'm just finishing up. Very unfortunate. Happy to have you here, though. And luckily, there's the replay. I'll be leaving it up. But we basically just watched the Chris Hanson 2 parts. I didn't realize it was 4. I don't think I can handle 4 parts. But yes, that is it. How did you go? What did you think about that? Explain it to me. How do you feel about Chris Hanson now? I'm still torn because I feel like he did a lot of good work early days, you know? And now it's like, well, I don't think he really cared deep down. But you still can't forget the good he's done. It was, wasn't it? Like, you know, sometimes we do kind of journalistic videos, right? Where we put a lot of information in. But we do try and keep it lighthearted at the same time. That video had so much in it that I think it was just... you know what I mean? So yes, I'm sorry, Nicole, that you just joined, and we're done. We're wrapping it up. 2.5 hours, I think. 2 hours and 22 minutes. Perfect amount of time. I'll be live again in a couple of days, and in between that time, hopefully, I can manage to write a video. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Yeah, 2:30 a.m. It's very late, mate. You need to go bed. Bedtime. I couldn't decide if he was willfully ignorant or just as bad. I couldn't decide either. I think by the end, though, I think I'm leaning more towards Chris Hanson knew what he was doing. He promoted scams on purpose and just didn't care because he was getting paid. Like, how can you promote something, you know, from Pablo Escobar? But anyway, what to do? So I'm turning in for the night, guys. Thanks, Staffy, and thanks, Jamie, for notifying me. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Jamie, for letting people know. All right. Well, fare thee well. I will see you soon. By Jamie, Michael, and Nicole, and anyone else who's left in here.